You're in the Business Insurance Zone with me, Steve Savant, national insurance columnist and financial color commentator. This week on The Biz, our Indexed Universal Life Insurance Product Exposé, featuring Athena Indexed Universal Life Insurance with Matt Berman, Vice President, Sales and National Accounts with AXA Distributors.
When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm your host, Steve Savant, and we're broadcasting live to a nationwide audience of financial advisors right here in Fountain Hills, Arizona, home of America's largest fountain. And with me today, day 5, Matt Berman. Matt, how you doing?
Been a great week here. Thanks
You're
for
surviving?
having me. Barely.
Wow. Well, we're refreshing the Athena product all this week. If you've missed any of our shows, you need to hop back out to our site, www.brokersalliance.com. As soon as you come to our homepage, you see the huge red on-demand video button. Click on it. It'll put you right into the archives, and you'll get all caught up on everything we're talking about, especially yesterday's somewhat controversial subject on policy loans. Yes, not all is well in our land. So let's just talk about today, though. We're going to talk about something unique. Now, everybody says, what product has unique? Now, this one I have to say, I am not sure, and I'm pretty sure I did my homework on this. I do not know of any other carrier, and for free, right, for free, who is offering an attachment called the Charitable Legacy Rider. Now, the reason I like this is because, and if you're watching this show and you say, Steve, I have no charities, I don't care about any nonprofits, I'll never do a nonprofit foundation, I'm not a benevolent person, I have no charities whatsoever, then the next part of this show you don't even watch. But if you have any need and you're already buying life insurance, and especially if you're looking at this product today that we're talking about, Athena, if you're looking at this, think about this. You guys actually give a charitable legacy rider at no cost to the policy holder.
That's correct.
Talk a little bit about this, because I find this is unique. Everybody's got some charity to put this to.
Yeah. Well, I think that what's unique about this offering, it allows individuals to leave a legacy. And I think that's part of the life insurance paradigm. There's risk mitigation, but to leave a benefit to loved ones and to actually support causes and organizations that are important to you. So the rider's unique in that it allows a 1% a 1% of your death benefit to be donated to a 50c3 organization, which is by IRS terms a charitable organization or not-for-profit, and it really allows you to do a little bit more with the product when that death benefit arrives.
How high is the cap, though? How high up on the death benefit?
It's 1% of the death benefit up to $100,000.
Okay, so 1% of 100 grand will be that's what you're going to give away, and you can cherry pick who you want to give this to.
That's correct.
Well, I'm thinking, today I'm just looking at it because we're prepping for the end of the year show, and every time we go through this, I'm looking for all the little nuances and new things that are happening, and here's the newest one. We're always talking about legacy planning for our children.
Sure.
I don't think we all get that. Now we're talking, and then I'm going to say about a decade ago, we added, legacy planning for our grandchildren. Well, now we're sitting there, and I think my face is going to be on Willard Scott's Smucker jar, because remember, all those people turn 100, right?
Sure.
They get on his show. If he took the time to say happy birthday to every American that turned 100, it would take 90 minutes a day, 24/7 to pull this off. I mean, it's the largest growing demographic in geriatric community. Now think about it. Legacy planning for children, I get that. Grandchildren, get that. Now, great-grandchildren. Sure. 4 generations because of just the mortality issues alone. Yeah. But think about this. A charity of your choice. Now, I think of a lot of people, when I Sunday morning, I see people going to church.
Yep.
They must like where they go.
Yeah.
Maybe they want to support that. The synagogue, whatever they want to go.
Absolutely.
But now we're talking about, I like this other part here as well. There's so many people that say to me when they're doing estate planning, and this is an oddity for me to have this late in my career, when people say, Steve, I'd like to do some charitable giving, who do you recommend? Sure. And I'm like, well, don't you have any? Right? So when I'm talking about the legacy rider, I like this because it really now gets you into, and I wanted to push a little more to marketing. We're always looking to get into new space.
Sure.
Charitable giving is a great space to get into.
Yep.
Now I have a product that's embedded inside the IUL. Actually, it's embedded in all your products, isn't it? And so I have this rider that I can go into, and I can say no matter what your normal charitable giver is, I now have leveraged my my actual indemnification that I'm using for my family
Sure.
and leverage it into a charity.
Yep.
So I'm looking at that as a marketing issue now. I can go in and say, this is auto. I don't know if anybody else is doing this.
Yeah, no, I think it does have some, it provides a multi-purpose way to market the product. And again, to address needs that are out there in the community. You know, we're very fond of it. It's gotten some good pickup and interest in the market. And I do think you're right. It's become a differentiator for us. And I think to the points that we made earlier in the week about looking at specific products that are aligned to more death benefit focused, this is aligned.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. And I do think that you know, life insurance is about, at its core, it's about protection. It's about making sure that you're passing along a benefit to your loved ones. And now you have the opportunity to really to leverage your legacy and identify a cause which is important to you. And this allows you to do that in a very cost-effective way.
I think when you think about the time that we're broadcasting right now, this is the season. We're in the holiday season. Yeah. Charitable giving is already part of the mantra out in society.
Sure.
I'll be tweeting and blogging all December on this, all about end of the year planning and charitable giving. So when you think about this is a great lead-in to open up a case, especially for end of the year planning, but more so because charitable giving, it is the season. So you're just really going into, kind of dovetailing your marketing into what the season's already supporting. When I think about charitable giving, and especially a rider like this, I could go back to my clients and say, here is a platform that'll move you on into perpetuity. Your name, your family, something that you want to see survive past your time on this earth. I think is a huge issue. I think actually, what a benefit. And it's absolutely free. The cap's $100,000.
Correct.
1% of that, you're going to do coverage for yourself anyways. You're going to be buying life insurance. This is the most excellent way to pull this off. When we come back from the break, we're going to address the Athena Indexed Universal Life product more and how it can be an application in your practice. And don't forget to enroll in IULUniversity.com for the best training, education, and sales support when it comes to life insurance for retirement income.
You're listening to the insurance industry's #1 resource for products, planning ideas, carrier information, and interviews you can use. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.
Welcome to the Brokers Alliance Auction House. I'm Jessica Lopez, and that's Steve Savant. What are you doing?
I'm practicing my auctioneer skills for our carrier bidding process for our producers' substandard cases.
Steve means that we're packaging our substandard cases for underwriters with specific carriers that are known to specialize in certain health impairments.
There are really only a handful of competitive carriers in each category, and we've identified who they are.
It's all about securing the best possible underwriting offer by packaging your substandard case with the right carriers.
So let the bidding begin. Well, welcome back to the Business Insurance Zone. I'm Steve Savant with Matt Berman. And remember, you can order today's show giveaways at thebiz@brokersalliance.com. Hey, what am I giving away? The dollar cost averaging document that we can attach, email, send it to you. Just write me. And I'm also giving away the product suitability piece, a wonderful piece by AXA, and uncovering and evaluating needs. This is a great track. If you're new to our business, that alone could be a really good sales track for you to get on to get you conditioned to always doing and evaluating client suitability and making the call way up front in the sale. That's what really helps your practice and actually gets you a lot of good referrals. Yeah. Now we're talking about this unique rider, a free rider, a rider that's embedded. I'm just thinking, if I'm doing regular planning at the end of the year, if I'm doing regular indemnification planning just for life insurance, why wouldn't I do this? It's free. Yep. And now I get to benefit. Somebody's going to benefit from my traditional purchase of indemnification protection to some charity of my choice, as long as it, again, is nonprofit approved by the IRS.
Correct.
Now, I've noticed, we've been talking about this from a client point of view, right? I think this is a huge can opener for a whole new market. It's kind of your way to dip your toe into charitable giving. People always say, Steve, how big is the market? Well, I don't really know how big it is. I just look at what the application says, the owner and the beneficiary, whether it's a trust or a charitable organization. But the thing I really want to bring up on this part is if you're looking for this as a tactical way to get into the market, this could be it. They have a wonderful piece, and it's easy to understand by the consumer. I think it's a great handout. Now, not just for financial professionals to open up your business, but they also have lead-ins to the fiduciary market. Now, when I think of the fiduciary market, I define it like this: CPAs, tax attorneys, estate probate, and also you have to throw trust officers in there.
Sure.
Because these are the people that comprise the entire fiduciary market. I'm always amazed at the end of the year, a person says, how come I owe so much taxes on my 1040? And I said, well, did you do any charitable giving?
Sure.
And they always say no. I never understand why this isn't a proactive issue in the fiduciary community itself.
Sure.
So let's talk about that for a second, because what we're trying to do is we're trying to introduce our audience into ways to get in front of accountants.
Sure.
Our ways to get in front of trust officers. Our ways to get in front of charities. I mean, I love it. Can you imagine charity finding out about this?
Yeah.
See, to me, that's a huge issue, and it's a wonderful marketing way to get your practice up to the next level. So talk a little about that strictly from a strategic, grow your practice kind of idea.
Listen, I think that you hit a really interesting point. For producers, intermediaries, it's important to understand what are the ways that you can open doors into different markets. And I do think that, to your point, especially now, I'm thinking that charitable giving and it's just very timely. As I think about recent events, you think about disaster relief, you know, there are so many good causes out there, and this is a really interesting way to pique interest and to open doors. And I think that there are a lot of gatekeepers in this space, from trustees, accountants, attorneys, and this is all top of mind in some way, shape, or form. And to have this in the conversation, I do think opens up some really good dialogue. So.
Well, I think, again, the phrase we use here is it's a can opener issue. And what I like about that is that it can really, you're talking to 3 to 4 different markets using something that doesn't cost the consumer anything, doesn't cost the charity anything. The accountant's going to see the value of this. If we're all going out to indemnification planning, especially at the end of the year, this is a great little piece. Now, when I noticed the application, this is interesting. You have to mark it. You have to actually check the box.
Correct.
Actually, I think, well, if it's free, why can't it be auto-plated in the app? But it isn't. So when you get the application, you're going to have to check that. And on top of that, remember, when you illustrate it, they have a little blurb, a little piece, caveat inside the proposal, which walks you through this. And again, if you say, Steve, I'm interested in this. This really caught my attention. I will help you think about how to get into some of these marketplaces using this singular rider. I never have ever, in my 30-year career, ever fronted a rider as a way to open up your practice to different venues. This is a perfect example of something that's off the beating path and perfect for Christmas and holidays. I mean, I just love stuff like this because my blogs and tweets all reflect the whole idea of giving. And now I have a rider. It sounds like I got a little giving from AXA here. You know, it sounds like they were a little benevolent when they made this. Well, let's tie up the whole segment and the whole week. Let's kind of redux. We were talking about client suitability. We were talking about indemnification and income. We got into all these 4 different platforms that you use now in indices, their caps. And I found, again, if you didn't see our Wednesday show, because I thought it was kind of unique, about the 3-year, 36-month point-to-point for S&P, that was a really good play. But yesterday's show on policy loans, all these things, there's a lot of unique issues here with AXA, and if I don't mind saying so, and they're really good underwriters as well. So I want to be able to always package an idea and say, what does this company bring to the table? And this product. You know, you redux and refresh your product, we're refreshing it again. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're kind of going through it again. We're going to relaunch it. Because I think people don't know about these anomalies, and my idea of making my practice expand, helping my producers expand, is to always bring anomaly products onto our show. Can you give us kind of a redux, and we'll head out for our segment?
Well, first, thank you for having us on the show. We've loved the time to showcase the product and to give some perspective. I think when you think of AXA Equitable in our position and our place in the market, think of us as a value provider, as a provider that is driving strong competitive net cost options. And you know, at first blush, we may seem to be on the periphery or outliers, but the intent is to maintain sound risk management practice and really deliver longevity, value, and keep on the promise with the contracts. I think we have a lot of unique options within our IUL and with the entire portfolio. And it's been great being able to showcase it here this week.
Well, thanks so much, Matt. I'm telling you, this is an area we should look at. If you say, Steve, I need the policy specs, I don't want to read the specimen contract, I have that all for you. Just order it at thebiz@brokersalliance.com. Remember, you can watch this show and all our shows by clicking the red on-demand video button right on our homepage at brokersalliance.com. Well, that's the Buzz on the Biz for today. You've been in the zone, the Business Insurance Zone.
The Biz is brought to you by Brokers Alliance, a national leader in insurance products, support services, and educational workshops. When it comes to life insurance, annuities, long-term care, disability, or group pension plans, we're the news you can use.